Hello and welcome along to the Tap Touch preview of the 2016-17 Big Bash League. David Shortte joined by former Australian international and indeed coach of the Western Warriors in Wayne Clark. G'day Clarkie.
David, how are you?
Going beautifully.
Yeah.
Nice to have your company. Really looking forward to this season's Big Bash.
It should be a beauty, and it's going to be very tight. You know, you try and look through the form, and it's hard to come up with a winner.
Yeah, most definitely. You can make a case for most sides. Let's start all the way across there in New South Wales with the two Sydney sides. Kicking off with the Sydney Sixers. They had a terrible campaign last year. I'm thinking it might be pretty similar this time around. They've got a lot of internationals in the side that are likely to be missing for a fair portion of this tournament.
Well, you look at Stark, Hazelwood. On paper, they look terrific. But when you take out 5 of their players that will be away at certain times, I do think they're going to struggle again. Last year, and I don't think they're going to finish much better.
No, absolutely not. Obviously, from a team perspective, Johan Botha no longer classified as an overseas player. New South Wales batsman Dan Hughes, Test Quick Joe Mennie. We talk about the players leaving. A couple coming in, Jason Roy and Sam Billings. They're two English players that are coming in for this campaign. A lot will be expected of this duo, albeit they're likely to be missing for the back half of this tournament.
Yeah, they could both be, but Jason Roy is very aggressive, very, very good player. He'll open the batting. Billings don't know a lot about. He's a batsman wicketkeeper, but has come across with a pretty good reputation. So they will rely on him. Moses Henriques, I think, is one of the big keys there. Because of the lack of their batting strength, I think a lot's going to fall on him to have a big year.
That's really important. As we go through, we'll come up with our predictions for where we think they'll finish as well as a player to watch. And we've got the Shazam happening here with the Sydney Sixers because I've also gone with Moses Henriques. And I think the key for it is, in a side where there's not a lot of depth, he's probably going to get the opportunity to bat quite a few overs. And when, as punters, we sit down and try and work out where we can get $1 out of the Big Bash, you want guys that you know are going to be playing that sheet anchor role and batting for plenty of overs. Henriques certainly fits the bill.
Yeah, and he's a bit like the side. He's been a bit of an underachiever over a period of time for consistency. But the 2020 game really suits him, and I think if they're going to have any play in this series, he's got to play well. Their bowling, Joe Mennie's been added. I think that's a plus. Sean Abbott, I think, is a player who, I think he took about 9 wickets last year, 10 wickets. Is a good, steady player and will be bowling at the right time. I think when you're looking at who's going to take the wickets, you want to see the blokes that's going to be bowling at the death, because that's where they can pick up some cheap wickets.
Absolutely,
well.
When they're looking to throw the bat, you can get some cheap ones. That's when I'd like to have the ball there, Clarkie, albeit I'm sure I'd be going over the rope plenty of times on the way through. So our predictions, look, I've got it being a really tough season for the Sixers. I've got them finishing with a wooden spoon.
Well, I've got him in 7th spot, but pretty well similar, I think.
All right, and hopefully Henriques can be our man to get a little earn on the way through.
Yep, and the other one is Abbott. I just think in some ways, with the bowling side of things, he's one bloke to look at.
Most wickets when they roll through there. And having a look across town at the Sydney Thunder, well, it was a glorious season for the Sydney Thunder last time around. Of course, last year's premiers in the Big Bash. However, this time around, it's not looking quite as good on paper.
No. The loss of Callis and Hussey, I think there's a lot of experience there in 2020 cricket and cricket in general. Ian Morgan coming in from the England side, I think he'll be a real bonus, but he's not here for the whole season. And that's something you've got to also look at when you do your punting is the overall makeup of the side, how many internationals you got there, how long they're going to be in the side, and that becomes important when you're doing your form.
Absolutely, and particularly if you're looking to play series bets where you're having to look for most runs or most wickets for the entire series. If there are players that you are picking that you know are going to have to nick off for international duty, they're going to have to get the job done in maybe half as many games as what some of their opposition are going to get the opportunity
Andre
with.
Russell, he's one of the other imports. He's an incredible cricketer in this form of the game. So dangerous with the bat. He hits it a very, very long way, and also picked up quite a few wickets last year at vital times. So he's important. Clint Mackay, leading wicket taker last year, 18 wickets he took. He's just a fella that varies his pace well. He'll be one that'll be right up there when you come to major wicket takers at the end of the year.
Most definitely. And a couple of other bits of news heading into the Sydney Thunder. Shane Watson, their skipper, who's going to be a very important part of this lineup, unfortunately is likely to miss the first couple of games. He's struggling with injuries heading into the tournament, so they'll sorely miss him. My player to watch from the Sydney Thunder And geez, it's good to see this young man back for Australian cricket, is Pat Cummins. His form over the recent one-day series was spectacular against the Black Caps. Gee, it's good to see him back at the top of his run and absolutely zinging them down. He took a 4 in one of those games. Australia won't be rushing him back into Test match cricket, but there's a good chance he'll be missing some of the late games with Australia taking place in a one-day series. So that's worth noting. But I thought while he's in the side, most wickets is certainly the bet type I'll be looking to play with Paddy Cummins. He's back firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, well, I'm going to stick with Andre Russell. I just think either both forms of the game, batting or bowling, he's going to have a huge influence on where the Thunder finished this year. And the other one, if you're looking for your bowling, Clint Mackay, he's just a solid bet.
His change-ups are great, aren't they?
Ideal.
He can make the batsman look silly at times, that is for sure. The prediction, where are they going to finish, Clarkie?
Well, they were first last year. I reckon there's a big fall from grace. So I think I've got them in 6th spot. And unless they're lesser lights, like the Blizzards and Roarers and that can do something, I think they're going to be down the bottom there.
Yeah,
6th.
I'm with you. I've got them dropping down to 5th position on the table this season. I think it's going to be pretty tough for both of the two Sydney sides. That's our thoughts on the two Sydney sides. Good luck if you're having a punt on the Big Bash with Tap Tap.